Magic. Okay. Uh, I'm just looking over, seeing what I need to do. Okay, so let me do 90 minutes. What did I say? 35 and 35 is 70. That leaves 20 minutes. 10 minutes intro, 10 minutes break. And that's like very little time, you know? Okay, so today, uh, it won't be every day, but today trying to see, I was trying to limit my time down to about 3 hours total, which means 90 minutes per stream. Still taking the hour break in the middle, just so I get done earlier because I got a lot of stuff, a lot of work and stuff to do in the house and all that, and so I figure I can start doing this for a while. Yesterday I was late because of some personal stuff, and for part two, and I basically only got about an hour there, but I got quite a bit done in that hour, which is kind of interesting. I even got some progress done in the earlier part of the day too, but so um, about 70 minutes of actual work time for each session today. Well, I don't know because I don't have the drawing stuff, the drawing practice stuff set up. I should set this up when I'm not streaming when I have some time. I might do that tonight, maybe. Um, I'm also behind on my video updates, and I'm also behind on my editing still. So it'll start catching up to me here pretty soon. So I need to get on that. But yeah, so today is just gonna be kind of limited. Um, you know, I'm gonna spend the 10-minute break where I would normally do the practice drawing thing, and I'm going to set up the practice drawing on stream. So I'm not gonna take a break. Well, I'm not gonna take a break anyways, but I just mean yeah. So I'll do that. I'll do the setup, and it'll take all 10 minutes. It might take tomorrow, it might take the rest of the week, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay. That being said, um, I got about 8 minutes here to finish doing my preliminaries. That's why it's still on webcam right now, and get people to come in. There's only three in here. Sometimes there's four. Sometimes there's up to six. That one day we got up to 11, which is awesome. I don't know how I did that, but or who made that happen, but that was awesome. But so yeah, so now we have, it looks like four people in here, and so I can use this time that I am doing this stuff. Okay, so I'll go ahead and kind of did I? Oh yeah. Here, we're gonna open this back up. Um, oh, you can't see it. That's right, because I'm on webcam. I keep doing that. So that's fine if you can't see it. It doesn't really matter because it's not important to the stream. Okay, so going live now. Okay, going live now. Here, I'm just gonna do this. I don't need to repost the link tree link because you can still get it from my other previous posts. And then I'm gonna go with um, the X communities just to show I'm live now. So let's do that. Um, Going live now. 170 part one. So we're at Devstream 170. I mean, you could say that because we started doing two streams that it's double the amount of streams, but I don't really count it that way. So I count a day as a stream, uh, even though they're actually two separate streams. But anyways, okay, so I'm gonna post that here. That's in Redot. The indie games community, I'm gonna post it, but I have to do it slightly differently because also share with followers. I just thought of something too. Um, the also share with followers thing. Maybe I don't really need to do that 3 times. Um, let's see if I can post the exact same thing and just not also share with followers. I share with followers the initial one. So if I do this and it's just posting to indie games, it should not give me an error message saying that I posted the same thing because it's not posting the same thing to my timeline. And now says Whoops already said that, so it doesn't even matter if I don't share it with followers. Okay, fine. That's dumb though. It shouldn't count that. It should count what you're actually posting rather than what you just typed in. Enchanted Stream. Enchanted Stream, that sounds funny. Enchanted Stream 170 part 1. Post. Um, and then on my profile, it should not be. Here, let's Game Dead Brothers in Cries. Let's put there. And live. I'm live right now. Enchanted Devstream 170 part 1. Post. And let's go to my profile real quick. I know you can't see it. It's just you aren't verified yet. Get verified. Uh well, interesting. So it still posts to my timeline. I guess only those in those can actually see it. Oh, no. Redot engine and Game Dead Brothers in Christ. I also added to that. I'll just leave that. I should have that's all right. It doesn't really hurt anything. Um, oh, so okay, let me do something real quick because apparently I'm in the indie game and dev showcase, but I can only post links there like twice a week. Probably just do it once a week if I can remember that. Um, time is it? Still got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes, and then we get to work. Um, okay, so let's go back to communities and let's go to where's it at? Indie game and dev. Okay, so I am going to make a post here. It doesn't also need to go to followers just because. Oh, maybe that's interesting. Okay, never mind. I'll have to check that out later. And here, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna do this. Copy, and we're gonna paste. Um, hold on a second. I'm live now. From the rules, I guess I can only post this about once or twice a week. So, I guess it's Wednesday. I'll do it every Wednesday. I usually post in communities every weekday. Okay, before I do anything, communities like that. About twice a week. So I'll do it every Wednesday. I usually post the meetings every day. Just a second. Honestly, I shouldn't need to finesse this post, but I'm doing so. Just give me another second. I'm actually supposed to be work like always. I'm on time this time, and actually, I'm going to be doing less time today too. So that's interesting. I'm on time, but at the same time, I'm getting a little bit late. But the rules state, but by the rules, I can only, I guess I can post about twice a week, so I'll do it every Wednesday. Okay, and I can actually put a return because it's just a, no, that's actually, all right. What the, oh, okay. All right, that should do it. Okay, I don't need to view it. In fact, I'm going to close this, and now I'm just on notifications here, which is awesome. Okay, great, great, great. Okay. Of course, obviously I'm not done here. Here, let's do a refresh, and let's check and make sure nobody is speaking in YouTube, and nobody's speaking in here. That's okay. That's fine. Restream, and we can go to chat, and welcome all. Give me a few more minutes. Okay, so going live now. Let's copy that, and now I can go into Discord. Give me another quick second. Shouldn't take very long, because I can tab through the different Discords now. Promote your stuff. Project Showcase, and that's in Game Dev TV official. Chap C, art and self promo. Indie game cloud. Share your work with my actual project. I'm streaming in your streaming community, and read discussion because I already posted in self promo. Okay, that's good. And now, of course, in RC, live now, live now. And live is now live. Pardon me. Excuse me. And okay, that's, I guess that about does it, doesn't it? Okay, let's go. Let's switch. Here, let me do something real quick. I need to go. I'm gonna change the air conditioning. It's kind of warm here already because of the because of the computer. So I'm gonna drop it down. And when Dad lays down, sometimes I turn the air down so that it's cooler, or whatever. So just give me 2 shakes, and I'll be back on. Oh, I can close this though. 2 shakes, and I'll be back on Here, let's pull up ChatGPT because that's what I've been using. That's this one. I actually like, I used ChatGPT for a while first before I ever think using Grok. But now, um, but now so I started using Grok for a while. In fact, I even got X Premium for just like a month or two, like a month or something. Didn't have that much money, but we were trying it just to see if it made a difference. It doesn't seem to make a difference. As much as these always tout to be like super smart and stuff, they're still not that smart. I mean, they can do more things, but they're not. You know, I haven't been able to get an AI to make me rich yet. So there you go. Anyways, be right back. I'll turn the little webcam in the corner. Oh, great! Darn it. Um, Stupid Restream. Um, Hopefully it's still streaming on Restream. It is. It's fine. But nobody will see my chat now. So now what I have to do is I have to break out each of these into their own browser window, and then I have to arrange the chat windows. No, not that one. That's Restream. Restream doesn't matter now, except other than that I'm using it. Um, okay, so put this up here, and then we'll go ahead and put this like this, and that way, um, so I'm not chatting through Restream because it keeps screwing up. It always keeps screwing up on me. It's annoying. I don't know. There might become a time here soon that I'll be off of YouTube, and maybe I'll just do Rumble exclusively. Although I don't get that many people. I don't get that many people anyways. So maybe it's about equal. Maybe I get just as many on Rumble as I do on YouTube. Just a few more moments, please. So I'm just typing that into. Dang. Okay. What? Anyways, be right back. Be right back. Let's Okay, I'm back. I still need to get the process to where I'm actually starting work when I'm supposed to be starting work. So yeah, I'm already 10 minutes over. So now, if I'm doing 35 minutes per session, I now only have 25 minutes approximately. So yeah. So it's 11:40. It'd be 11:45. So it'd be 11:45. Okay. So let's get going here. Let's pull up. Okay, I should have already pulled this up, but that's all right. So favorites. Let's pull up the old project. It's not an old project, but the old project. Okay. So this is site. Okay. So yesterday. Okay. So yesterday, what I was doing was um where okay. So where is Restream anyways? Pull up Restream just so I can see how many people are actually actively in the chat at the same time. I mean, I guess I could always just look on I could always look at Rumble and YouTube. YouTube, is there a way I could see? Because that's right at the window, so that's actually covering. So let's see something here. Um, hold on, where's that stupid resizer? There we go. And that seems good, actually. Okay, so now I can see both. I can see how many are in. There's 3 in Rumble and 1 in YouTube. And I don't think it counts me in either one. I don't think Restream counts me as part of the, or at least I don't think it actually counts anyways. So 3 and 2, so that's 5, which is cool. Okay, thanks everybody. Okay, so yesterday I had decided what I was going to do was um, so Hubert's in Wizard University right now, and he hit the trophy room, and he knows the scepter's missing from a case. That otherwise, there's no tampering. There's no clue as to how it was removed or who removed it or why it was removed. Not that the why would be in there anyways, but Hebert doesn't really know what's going on. However, there is one thing: he's a wizard. He's attuned. He can kind of sense that there was some magic used here. He doesn't know what the extent or what type it is. So the first thing that he's going to do is that the trophy case is warded magically from magical and um, physical tampering. So if they had been broken, um, see that's the other thing. If they can be broken, they can be broken, right? Okay, so maybe the words are like see, I don't really know that much about magic exactly, and I really don't want to get into like realistic real magic or anything like that, or like witchcraft and kind of stuff in the real world. But um, words can be broken, right? Well, actually, what it would have to be is another wizard would have to remove the ward to be able to get into it. So if that had happened, if it had been removed magically, then the person that cast the ward on it would be able to tell that it was broken into, and maybe it would work like an alarm. Maybe they would sense when it was broken or whatever. Okay. Now the idea here also, um, so so even presumably, I even just thought of this now. Presumably that the wards were put in place by Hubert himself, maybe even, and he hasn't sensed anything going wrong. If he would have sensed it, he would have been able to go and be able to tell it. So something's not right, and he knows that magic's been used because he's in there and he can sense it, but he doesn't know what extent. So he's going to try a um, he's gonna actually use his magic, and his magic still doesn't work quite right, but it'll be enough for him to be able to tell that the wards were not broken. In fact, they'll all kind of say kind of a similar thing, like the smell and the taste and all that. Like you can taste it in the air, that it's there intermittently, or the same thing with the okay, so like the first one, right? The first one is going to be kind of a sight ward. It's a word that will it's a spell that will uh, reveal the wards, make them visible, and but because the magic doesn't work right, it phases in and out. But it's enough for him to tell, right, that it wasn't broken. And there'll also be some hint as to kind of what happened. So in this first one, he does this he does the reveal spell, and he sees these lights kind of phasing in and out, or fading in and out, you can even say. But they're going from one point in space to the trophy case and surrounding the trophy case, meaning somehow the wards were affected, but they're still not broken. In other words, he would have seen it, it would be like a burnout, like a fade out, like sparks fading out. It wouldn't be like phasing in and out, like fading in and out. Um, so, and he notices that it goes in like a direction, right? So, um, now there's only two people here, one in Rumble and one in YouTube. That's all right. I guess some people were still expecting to see code, and that's not going to be until part two. Anywho, okay. So this first one is for sight. The next one will be for smell, and I will sort of make them similar. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into the hat magic very much. I'm just going to say that he pulls out a few hats, and then he does these things, right? And then I'll do the thing where it says, well, he doesn't have the right. He's missing a hat. He needs to swap out a hat, maybe, to do the other spells. Because when you actually, the final point and click game will be part of it will be puzzle like, right? Part of it will be you're gonna learn somehow you're gonna learn what hats to use, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that just yet, but I'll figure out a way of doing that later on. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just forget about it. Maybe I'll be distracted and it will be changed so much that it's not even a thing. I was gonna make it a thing though, like sort of like in Loom. Okay. Anyways, so we are doing. I also wonder if I should put it in my notes or not. I don't guess I need to do that though. Okay. Now this is just hit one for sight. It's not hit one for sight. It's just it's a placeholder, so I know which one I'm looking on. So um okay. Okay, wait. Let's look at this first, and let's open that up. Makes way to trophy room, display case, magic use, but not what extent. All right. Okay, maybe I'll do like I did the other time. I'll put all the I'll put each of the text for each of them in here. Um, okay. Try as a word reveal spell, and then we'll do that. And then this is the start of it. Um, floating lights, rotating lights appear, disappear, then reappear. Um, and yeah, this is okay. In fact, this is pretty much going to be in every single deal. So let's actually do that first. Here, let's Control C. We're gonna do like this, right? Now, oh, not this one. Okay, because we're doing it before. So like this is before. This is the one for sight. This is the one for smell. That sort of thing. Okay. And I guess having these look different each time is not that important in a sense that I'll be transforming the game over time, so it's not really going to matter that much if I leave them the same or if I make them slightly varied. For in fact, it doesn't really matter here because I'm not even doing the narrative pass here. So, um, yeah, I wonder. I was doing the thing where I made the words slightly different. Why did I spend the time making the words slightly different when I still have the narrative path to go through? I gotta remember that. So if I'm doing something exactly the same, it should be fine. It should be exactly the same fine. And that should be fine. Uh, um, Hubert also notices something peculiar, namely that the lights appear to be in mid-air in front of the case and then seem to drift toward the case where they settle around the case, drift toward the case before hovering around it. There's something about the words not being tripped. Because the effect, because the fade out would, well, we'll just leave it at that. Something about the words not being tripped, okay? In fact, let's just do this on everyone here. We'll do it like that. Hit one for sight, and then we'll do this. Where? How come the period is not there? Okay. Control C. Touch, and for here. Okay. Okay, this is the sight one. Okay, that's the sight one. I could have did it the opposite. I mean, it could be on top of. Um, I guess this is just sort of taking up extra time that I probably don't need to do, but X, Control V, Control X, V. There we go. Hit one for sight. Okay, so because these hit one and hit two and things is actually for this particular page, but uh, everything after it is actually going to go into each one of these rooms. But I'm doing it this way is kind of on purpose. Okay, we'll say okay. We're going to go ahead and save room data to make sure it's saved already, and that's a lot of. I forgot because it's layout tool. I hadn't taken out a lot of the messages, the output messages. I'm not gonna worry about those though because everything's gonna be with the layout tool. So I can pan and zoom the layout tool, and then I'm going to I'm gonna make a way where you can move the rooms around. You can select them. You can click on them, and I'm gonna have to think about a little bit. I shouldn't be talking about the layout tool. That's got to be later. That's gonna be later, right? I need to get back to this. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back into it. Okay, now smell's got to be something similar. Favorite half magic. Still affects his spells, but since these are fairly small, and And in reality, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the other ones. The other ones, I can't do too many choices. In other words, I can't do 5 choices of different spells. I have to limit it to 3. I could go to 4, but the 4 means like 64 pages instead of 15. And 15 is quite a bit, but 15 is just 15. 64 is like 4 times as much. Almost 4 times as much. So, um, okay, so I'll have to think about what to do as far as I don't know if I should do a skippy. This is kind of a skipping one, sort of, or not. You're gonna have to layer a couple of. Maybe I'll just keep it to 3 spells. That's fine. I'll do the layering thing. I'll see. I'll see what pattern we're looking at first. I might do a deal where if I did a 5, if I did 5 by 5, that's 25. That's still quite a bit of pages, but not near as many. We'll do 3 anyways. I think I'll stick with 3 still. 4 by 4 is 16. That's not that. Maybe I'll do 4. Maybe I'll layer 4 on there, and I'll do like a 4 by 4. 4 by 4 means you only get the initial choice, the initial choice of which one to start with, and then the rest follow a certain order. Actually, what's funny? Well, no, that's not. That doesn't work though, because you have to have like 4 different lines because you're choosing one, and then the other 3 is the other 3. I think. I could do initial 4, and then well, it'd still be like 3. It'd still be like the 3. The 3 would be 15, and the 4 would be yeah, yeah. If I did 4, I forget. It's 464, isn't it? Yeah, 464. So I won't do that. Okay. But since these are fairly, um, let's say fairly light, well, fairly small. Okay, fairly small. It still um, accomplishes his goal. He starts smelling. I wonder. See, I wonder what kind of smells you would generate for. I wonder how the smell system would work. The smell part of it would work. Let's see if I can figure this out here. Okay. Okay, so the site one is the one where the words fade in and out, but not dissipate like if they were dripped, and they seem to start in a point in space in front of the case and seem to drift toward the case until it starts revolving around the case. So now we're at the smell one. What would be good? What would the smell system look like? And what would be the smell? Okay. So you have to have a visual thing, and so the visual. Okay, so the visual thing for the clue, the hint is that it starts in the air in front of the case, and then it moves towards the case. But then the visual part itself is that these little floating like light bob things, these light, shade bobs, these little light things around the deal. Um, so that's the visible. So we need to do the same thing here. We need a smell clue, and to me, the smell clue would be like there'd be something mechanical, like like uh, um, like parts burning when metal's against metal or something. And what would be the smell of the words not being tripped versus the smell that the device creates or the clue? I'm thinking this is just going to smell like something is burning, like when a motor burns out. But that's for the clue, not for the actual words not being tripped. For smell, yeah, orbit, right? Orbits around. When something feels magical consistent, so Hubert can compare baseline word scent versus sabotage scent. Here's a way to set it up. Sort of like an aura for the nose. Think of it like a magical incense. So yeah, I know. You can set the words magically, almost like normal word scent not being tripped. Clean, bounce smells that reflect harmony. Could be something like cool ozone, like after a thunderstorm. Words humming but stable. Fresh wax or beeswax. Unbroken seal. Aromatic herbs. The spell's intact and at rest. Basically something natural, fresh, and sacred. Yeah, could be the smell of um yeah, like after a thunderstorm. That's actually a good deal. Um, something right like intrusion. A couple ideas: finish your burnt motor clue wallet. Hot copper, burning wires, or triggering out like a magical circuit. Scorched herbs, burnt incense. Overheated stone or brick dust, like a kiln left too long. Um, words are quiet. Smells like blacksmith's forge after someone forgot to cleanse the metal. Uh, um, since well, I don't know. I was gonna say I was doing the same thing for each of the. Should it be like that? The clue is going to be a separate smell. The idea that tripped words will smell a certain way. Maybe it's bad, I don't know, but it's not important here. It will be the smell of untripped words and the clue smell will be a separate smell. In fact, to keep in line with the sight word reveal, he'll be able to detect this burning smell in the air in front of the case. Generally changing into the smell of the air after a thunderstorm. So the closer to the case, the more he smells the words have not been tripped. Okay. So just so you know, because I'm reading this off as I'm typing it. So so for the first word reveal is a visual word reveal. So what the spell does is it uh, it makes the words visible, and but instead of just orbiting the case like it's supposed to normally, it starts in the middle of the air in front of the case, then it drifts over to the case and starts orbiting around it, and it keeps doing it over and over again to indicate that it started in this one spot, then it moved over there. But because they're still going, they're still orbiting, it hasn't been tripped yet. And because Hubert's magic doesn't work quite, at full power, it does it intermittently. So it'll fade out, fade in, fade out. And I already had a deal where basically, if the word is tripped, it'll look like sparks like going out or whatever. In other words, and I don't know if there's a thing here. I can do a deal where I'm doing some world building where you don't actually see the world building. So where I could go and take each word reveal spell and I can give them a different thing of what happens when the words have been tripped or been broken. I don't know if I want to do that because I kind of want to move along here. So I might just just make it what it is, and what you don't see or what you won't read isn't really necessary. So hopefully that doesn't mean that there's not anything there to back it up. How some things are missing, and so some things aren't as consistent. Maybe I should write something in my notes though. Maybe I'll just not write the full thing, but we'll let the game itself kind of document itself, so to speak. But I'll also add a few, just a little here. Some extra notes on word sensing spells. There's a different spell for each of the 5 senses. Sight, touch, taste, smell, and hear. When a word has been tripped or broken, it appears to dissipate in some way. In the case of sight, it's like sparks fading out. What else? When not broken, each of the 5 senses are also used, but positively. For instance, The smell of the air after a thunderstorm is the smell detection, the smell word detection spell. Okay, I'm just doing this little extra notes here. I'm not doing the full thing. I'm just doing the one thing here. So, okay. Parallel to the visual system you already described, instead of sight effect that drifts and orbits the case, you're doing a smell effect that strengthens the approach on symmetry. Uh, At distance, faint ozone tang, like when TVs used to crackle with static or faint by the air before a storm pricks the nose. Closer in, that ozone thickens, iron fillings charged but still held in check, right near the case. Um, yeah. Now, I don't need to go that deep in, and it doesn't have to be that elaborate. I think I'm already settled on what I'm doing for the small one. So the closer one gets, um, to the case, the more the after the thunderstorm smell uh, is concentrated. The acrid metallic or burning scent is only the result of the unnatural magic used for opening a portal. Okay, let's go back in here. Um, Actually, let's check one more thing here. Um, See, I was already supposed to do my little. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna take the break today. That's fine. I'll just keep going. I got till 12:30. 12:30. Um, Two distinct odor clues at play. The words "unbroken smell." The closer to the case, the strongly fresh after thunderstorm ozone-like smell. It's a positive indicator. Yep, still intact. Ties visually with the sight spell clue. The words can be seen unbroken. The intrusion clue is sharp, acrid, metallic burn smell left by portal magic. Someone lingers in the air as a telltale sign that something was done unnaturally. That way, even if the words look fine to the naked eye or a basic sight spell, the nose picks up something foul happened here. This gives you a layered sensory mystery. Did I say all good? The nose says, wait a second. The fun part, if the hero doesn't have both senses at play, they might. Um, I'm not really making this complex. So you're going to choose one word reveal spell, um, which leads to the conclusion that some alternate form of magic was used, and that the words weren't broken. Anyways, enough of that. Um, I'll finish this out and then we'll move on to the third word reveal spell. Okay, got it. Sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Do it. Okay. Sight, smell, taste, touch, and hear. This doesn't really matter that much. Uh, do I need to put these in a specific order? I mean, I shouldn't need to because it doesn't really matter about a specific order, but I have these in an arbitrary order. Should they be put in a conventional order? And what is that? Is that what you put above? Is sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell the conventional order? Sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell is the conventional order in which most people list the 5 senses. Grade school science class version, most folks recognize it instantly. Instead of arbitrary. Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Now, I'll just modify the rooms a bit. Let's stay a moment, please. Okay. Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Okay, sight. Sound. Okay, sight, sound. Touch. Taste. And smell. Okay, I am working on the small one, but we'll do this. Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Okay. Now, let's do okay. Let's go ahead and save this. We're gonna change these. Sight. We're gonna make this sound. Gonna make this touch. Taste. And this is gonna be smell. So now they're in the right order. And I just had to just make sure that the text was in the right order. Because these are just actually just going to each of the Wizard U trophy room deals, and so as long as those are in the right order, then it's in the right order. Okay. We'll continue doing smell because I was already working on it. Okay. One more thing I gotta ask ChatGPT. Is there a word for the smell one smells after a thunderstorm? Petrichor. Huh. Earthy fresh scent that comes. That's right, I read about that. Comes when rain falls and dries. Technically, it's caused by plant oils released during the dry periods, mixing with the compound called geosmin, produced by soil-dwelling bacteria, which rain helps aerosolize. There's also ozone, which can add a sharp, almost metallic note to the air. That's the tangy storm smell people sometimes notice before or during lightning-heavy storms. Um, Not at this moment. Someone is paging me in IRC. GitHub, kind of cool. Oh, hey Rook. Rook is heading home, and when he comes back, I'll say hi to him. Also, I need to go back here, and I need to go back here. Nobody's actually talking in the chat, so that's kind of okay, anyways. So 2 and 2, that's good. No thanks. Just wanted to know. I will describe it as smelling like the air after a thunderstorm and leave it at that. I need give me a few moments to finish this page off. I don't know why it does that. No thanks. Got it. I've hit the free plan. Okay, that's fine. Um, what's the smell, of a wood fire called? Smoky or woody, sometimes earthy resonance. No, but I'm trying to describe the sort of acrid smell of heavily charred wood for the unnatural magic. But maybe that's still not correct. I want something that represents that something has been done unnaturally. It doesn't necessarily have to be a disgusting or bad or smell. For instance, it doesn't need to be sulfur smelling, but I almost think that a campfire that's been put out and is producing a lot of smoke, so much that you inhale it, is something like what I'm looking for. Okay. Hey, Matt. You're probably not watching, but hey, Matt. How's it going? These are stuff on the daily. Convey something usual off or forced without necessarily being foul or toxic, just a signaling the natural order has been disrupted for that acrid or dense smoke smell. Smoldering fireworks. Well, you could describe it as smoldering smoke. Thick and lingering charred wood haze. Heavily smoked embers. Stifled campfire. Dense, acrid warmth. With magical hints of stifled acrid. I'm not really going super descriptive because this is not the narrative past. What do you describe? How do you define acrid? Strong, sharp, and often unpleasant smell or taste. It's the kind of things you know that they're little after or smoke, burnt things, chemicals, or anything that irritating the senses. So does it signal something? Okay, I think I can just use acrid itself. It's probably most apt at the moment. Okay. See, I'm obviously not going to do it this time. In fact, I don't have enough time to do it this time, but I might try in the near future to make sure that all of my story beat pages and choices and everything are completed within 10 minutes. If I can do that, then I can get booking on this, and so it can be done. You know, it doesn't need to be, how do I say it? I want to keep it varied, and I want to keep it, you know, plausible, logical, and all that. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be like 100% everything, right? Because A, it's not the narrative pass, and B, um, you know the meme about first do it and then make it perfect kind of thing, and it's a meme that they use for art. They show art, they show some basic art. Maybe it doesn't look good or it isn't finished or polished, but then they show the polished one afterwards. So it's kind of like that. This is like the unpolished version, you know. And I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll have a thing where the stuff that I come up with within 10 minutes is what I use. The bad part about it is up until this time, I've been, I guess you might say, fairly careful or whatever. I have a process that I've been doing, but it's super slow, right? Not that slow is bad, but the reason I think that I don't get many viewers in here isn't just because of what they're interested in. Yeah, there's some people aren't going to the story sessions because they're really interested in coding. They don't care about the story. Others uh, aren't interested in the coding aspect, or at least I wasn't interested in the coding aspect of my stuff very much. But so there's some people that like one, some that like the other, and then I'm sure there's some people that would like both. But and why was I saying that? Anyways, I'm saying if I could get if I could get booking on these pages, even if I have to, rework it harder later, it shows progress faster. If it shows progress faster, then more people are apt to actually look at either the update videos or the live streams, because I'll start seeing, oh, he's making, oh, what's he getting done this time? What's he getting done this time? And it'll almost be like, like I'm going through and building it up, and that's what I'm want my audience to be, I guess. I want my audience to be the type of person that likes to watch stuff being built and put together and stuff. And it's cool if you're just interested in one aspect. I don't mind, I mean, the more the merrier, right? But really, I'm doing this for people like me who like watching behind the scenes. They like watching the making of stuff. They like watching things being built. Um, I'm sort of into like woodworking, even though I don't do any woodworking at all myself, right? I love watching those deals. I like watching the home improvement shows. I like watching, them make stuff out of wood. There's a show on PBS. It's probably still running. I'm not sure if it's still running. Called the Woodwright Shop, where this guy uses all like old hand tools, no power tools, right? And so he makes everything the old way. I love watching that stuff. Likewise, I like watching a making of a movie. You know, behind the scenes filming and putting stuff together and editing and all that stuff. I like watching that stuff. So that's what I'm trying to put here. However, the fact that it's super slow and I'm showing everything, you watch behind the scenes stuff, even in something like the Terminator 2. If you ever watched, if you ever have the special edition Terminator 2 DVD, which has both the theatrical and the special edition cut, the director cut, basically they have some extra footage that was put back in, and because of the new branching aspect of the DVDs, you're able to watch both versions. Without much more data or whatever. But on the special features of that is a 50-part making of Terminator 2, and even that is that it's not that much. There's 50 parts, but each might only be 10 minutes, or it might be it might be a little few things of stuff, right? So and you'd like watching it because they don't show you every single thing, right? I'm still trying to show you every single thing here because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I just did this the other night, and then you're like, well, how did you do that? What was your thought process going to that? But at the same time, this is what's I think stopping more people from watching it. Now, thumbnails and titles and stuff can be really important. I get that, and a stream is a stream, and a lot of people don't necessarily watch a lot of streams on YouTube. They watch them on Twitch, which are usually more game player streams. They watch them on someplace else. Rumble keeps trying to play up their live stream thing, and but yeah, I don't get a lot of viewers in here. Partly, like I said, partly because they're not interested in the story stuff, or they're not interested in the programming, depending. Um, but I need to find a way of being quick, super quick, because this is, like I said, I have. We'll say at the lowest, I still have 75 story beat pages to go. 75. Now, if I'm taking several weeks for one, that's gonna take in the years. Even if I do one per day per weekday, that's only 20 in the time, and that's like 4 months. and that's almost the best case scenario is 4 months. So how can I bring it down to 10 minutes apiece and still maintain a quality? I don't know if I can even maintain the quality by doing that, but I need to do something because otherwise nobody's going to be watching this. Maybe yeah, years later they'll go back through it and watch it, but even then, what you're going to do is you're gonna look at it and kind of go, whoa, he's got 200 streams. I'm not going to watch that many streams, and then they'll kind of go back through it. Or better yet, they'll see the updates and they'll go, hey, wait, these updates are only 8 minutes a piece. Maybe I'll binge watch a few of those, or even binge watch all of them, maybe. But even that's 30 or 40, and it's going to be even more as time goes on. It just is, even at 2 weeks a pop. So I have to figure some way of speeding it up. Maybe a little bit more quantity and less quality, maybe. Because the end result is still the end result. In other words, even if I do this early stuff and I do it quick and it's not high quality and stuff, it'll be moving towards somewhere, and I can always rewrite, redo, fix, modify, streamline stuff after it's been made. Right? You always start with a rough draft, and then you start with a couple more drafts, and then eventually you get some rewriters, and then you get some, and it goes on through a process to where it gets to a stage that they call it final, or that they actually use it. It may never get to a final stage. But anyways, I just went off of that, and so I need to go back in here and get back to work here. It's 12:16. I got till 12:30, and I'll be off for an hour after 12:30, and then when I come back, I'll be working on the tool part. Okay, so smell. Um, and acrid odor, like charred wood on a smoke during fire. Um, word reveal spell. Uh, I should say that, Hubert put on a few hats, and then cast the. I don't know if I should I give these different names. A word reveal spell. It's like, do I need to? Then the closer he gets. Um, the more it starts to smell like the air just after a thunderstorm. Um, the smell fades in and out based on Hubert's halfway magic. Okay, we're going to say okay. We're going to go ahead and save. We're going to clear this because it was starting to get chunky there because I was outputting a bunch of stuff. You start smelling an acrid odor like charred wood on a smoldering fire. Then the closer he gets, the more it starts to smell like the air just after a thunderstorm. There's something about the words not being dripped. Um, we'll leave that. Oh. Do measures. See, also, this reports in the inspector when you change something because it's an exposed property. With the layout tool, it's not going to do this because it's not going to log everything to something as I type it out in the tool. The tool is going to allow me to type out stuff. But we'll see. We'll do one thing at a time, right? The other thing I should look at is I should look at the kind of user interface in the tool. Like see if there is um something I can use for GD script that does makes a kind of a unified UI or something. Because I'm gonna basically need a kind of a UI. So I have to look that up. Okay. All right. So sound. Uh, okay. So what? Okay. So what kind of sound spell could he be using? Could he be doing? Um, a hum would be a hum. Okay. So we need two things. We need one the sound for the uh, for the usage of the device, right? Okay. Okay, so for sound, I need a sound that indicates words weren't stripped, and another sound that represents the unnatural device being used. Open the mini portal. Okay. Good. Streaming working on the game. Okay, so what would be a decent sound? Software might come almost like That might contrast with something more drawing or mechanical, like a high-pitched whine or a brief static like buzz, almost the hum of an overloaded motor or the fizz of electricity. Something that instantly feels out of place next to the calm harmonic hum. Um, hmm, hmm. I'll have to think about that for a second. Are there any repetitive sounds that most people don't find annoying or even find pleasant? I don't know. Hmm. Be okay. Okay. What specifically is an arpeggio? At the same time, even C major chord you put together C G simultaneously, and arpeggio you play C E G. It can be slow or fast because of flowing cascade. Sure. Suggest a few. Okay. Um, it's magic. Let's do something here for a quick second. Let's open this up. Let's see if I can find harp arpeggio. Okay, I should be quiet while I'm listening. Okay, I know you can't hear it. I don't have desktop audio on, so you shouldn't be able to hear anything. So I shouldn't get, you know, tagged here. Hopefully. We'll see. Um hmm. Okay, let me think for a second. Okay, I'm gonna describe this a certain way. I don't know if it'll be the best way, but tuning fork, tuning fork, tuning fork, tuning fork, tuning fork. Oh, it looks like I'm done for today. I'm done. I guess I'm done with this part for the day. Let's go ahead and save room data. Let's go ahead and Control S, and I can leave this open though, but it should be done for at least today. Okay, actually, let's do one little thing here though. Um, mechanical. Um, I don't know what to call tuning fork sound, but a low rumbling hum for the unnatural portal magic, and a sound as if a someone was fucking scales on a harp, I guess. And I'm just I won't exactly use that text precisely, but I will. I do want that in there. I want it saved in there. So okay. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so we're done. We're done. Um. Uh. Okay. Looks like I'm done for today. Thank you. Sounds like you made good progress today. Okay. Now I'm done with that. And let me go ahead and I'm just gonna say Let's go to this. Let's go to, oh, here, let's put this out here. Let me switch real quick. Thank you for watching part 1.